Well, good evening and welcome to About the Valley. And my guest tonight is Rod Lee. Rod's a familiar face around town. And he's got his latest novel. You've done several novels now.
Right, right.
So it's your latest novel.
Just out.
Yeah. Available on Amazon, by the way.
Yes, it is. Barnes and Noble. But it's
Oh,
good to
okay.
be available on Amazon because I haven't used that particular platform before.
Oh,
So that's
I tell
very
you-
helpful to people.
Amazon is so easy to order from.
Very easy, good delivery.
Oh my God, next day.
Next day, free shipping a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that's been a good hookup.
I'll tell you, it's amazing. They'll come to my house at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, they come all hours.
Yeah.
All hours,
I
yeah.
don't know how you're
You see
doing
the
it.
trucks rolling all
Yeah.
the time.
But
Yeah.
all you gotta do is type in the title, The Poison Pen Club,
Right,
or your name, right?
right,
Rod Lee.
right.
That's the only one you have at Amazon.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
one, that's the only one that'll come up.
Yeah, and it's affordable.
Yeah.
It's $14.45 for the paperback,
How can you go wrong?
so that's a pretty good deal, I think.
That's a darn good deal.
Yeah, yeah. They do have a hardcover version, but that's like $25.
Oh, they do have a hardcover.
They do have a hardcover, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and you can order it for Kindle.
Oh, it is available on Kindle,
Kindle,
so
yeah, yep.
if you don't wanna read, you wanna listen.
Right, right.
It seems to be more popular all the time.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah.
Amazon's trying to get me to sign up for Kindle. No, I wanna read.
I prefer to read.
Yeah. I can't read offline.
Right,
I can't read on a screen.
right.
I can read a book, but I just have a hard time reading it on.
Well, you're used to that,
Right,
and that's the way you've done it. That's true of a lot of us.
yeah.
So,
And even with my glasses, it just doesn't come out as clear when I'm reading online.
right,
But anyway, let's get to the book. It's based on, the concept was the idea that you got from reading the Tribune letters.
right.
The two people in the Tribune that send opposing letters every week.
Right. And a lot of people are probably aware of this
Oh, yeah.
here in town.
I'm sure they are because I know my wife reads it every week.
She reads it.
Yeah. They're going back and forth. And
It's
they
a
can get pretty-
slugfest. It's a slugfest.
Yeah.
It really is.
And they get pretty brutal, don't they?
Oh, they get very brutal, very vicious.
Yeah.
And it's, remember when Tip O'Neill said all politics is local?
Yes.
It doesn't get any more local than this.
No, I know, you're
You know,
right.
It's right in our backyard.
Yeah.
So,
But you took the concept and made it into a novel.
well, I just thought it would be interesting, Harry, to kind of take that where it might go.
Yeah.
Not that the scenario, it's believable that it could escalate to that
Yeah.
position of, into physical violence, threats and altercations.
Well, I think we've had that happen in the past.
Yeah, I mean,
No murders, but we
I
had
mean,
physical violence.
the political climate in the country right now is very volatile,
Yeah.
very volatile at all levels, national, state, local. So
Yeah.
this is just a reflection of what's going on.
Right. And, I think it comes from the way the politicians are handling one another.
It's something that a lot of people are very disturbed about, especially with the TSA situation right now. That's deplorable.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is because no matter whatever the Republicans give them to do, even though they match what they asked for, they say, well, no, we want this now.
Right,
And the Democrats will come back and say, no, that's not far enough. We want
Right.
this now.
right.
And it's destroying the country.
You feel so bad for those people that are out of work. They're struggling. They're
You're
living
out of
in their
work, and
car.
how about the people in the airport?
Yeah.
2 and
That's-
3 hours,
that's-
5 hours, 6 hours,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get through the TSA.
yeah, sleeping in the airport sometimes. They said some airports may have to close if this doesn't
Yeah.
get settled right away.
And not to
So-
mention the security that we're taking a chance with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess, and people have really lost a lot of faith in government, Congress, and everything, so. But anyway,
Yeah,
This
Well-
is pro-Trump, anti-Trump stuff that began before the election and then continued on through November and then continues on to today even. They just will not stop commenting and writing.
Well, they either it's either you're 100% behind them, and that was that CNN poll I showed, 100% of MAGA is backing Trump,
Right,
or you're totally against them,
right.
and the ones that are against them are 100% against them.
Yeah, and that's what's reflected in those letters.
Yeah, I mean.
And then, you know, other people came into the picture as well besides the first two. Tammy, who was the instigator of the whole war of words.
Right.
And then Mr. Fulbright, the history teacher. And then these other people started, well, I want to get into this argument too. So,
You know, this is not new to the country.
no, no,
You go back prior to the Civil War,
right.
it got pretty vicious.
Sure,
Got vicious in the press,
sure,
got vicious with one another.
yeah,
In fact, you had a senator from Massachusetts got beaten up with a cane in the Senate.
yeah,
Do you know about that?
no,
Oh, yeah, I tell you, the interesting, I forget his name now. He was from Massachusetts. He was a senator from Massachusetts, and a southern senator came out on the floor while he was speaking and beat him with his cane.
Really?
Almost killed him.
really.
And I'm trying, oh, God, I know.
So
his
there
name.
is some historical precedent for it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is nothing new.
Right,
We haven't got to that point yet in the House and Senate, but it
right,
gets pretty vicious.
right.
But now we're getting to that on the street. And, you know, you had that on the street. Look, you had, like I said, it got pretty vicious on the street then. You had people like John Brown that got pretty violent.
Right.
So this is not nothing new, but we don't even expect it today.
So, because of my own experience in newspapering, that kind of figured into the storyline because I figured not just the letters to the editor, but the editor and his lead reporter jumped into the mix too. So,
Yes.
and the editor's motivation was to increase the circulation of the paper, and we know all about that.
Oh, yeah, well,
You
I
know.
mean, the paper loves it because
Yeah.
controversy sells papers.
Sure. And you know from my own experience when I was at the Tribune and with my own paper, the Northbridge Times,
Oh, yeah.
I never shied away from controversy, and I kind of knew that people wanted to see that to some extent. You know, they always say if it bleeds, it leads.
Right.
You know, but
Well, when you
It's-
had Northbridge Times, it's a fly off the shelf because there was something controversial in it.
you know, I was involved with the town, with the community, with different civic issues and
Right.
political issues and all that, school committee, selectmen, and everything going on. So, anyway, I thought the idea was the editor would pick this up and run with it.
Yes.
Max Baxter and his reporter Jeremiah Douglas, who was like a bloodhound. He figured he could sick him on the whole thing,
And
and
in the book, doesn't the paper kind of spark it on?
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely,
they
absolutely,
promote it
absolutely,
because, like you say, it sells newspapers.
yeah, yeah,
And it's based on a town that it actually sounds like Northbridge.
well, it should.
Yeah. Even though now the people that are writing in there are from Uxbridge,
She is from Uxbridge,
and he's from Douglas, right?
and that's right. So, but that happens a lot too. I mean,
Yeah.
people who write in aren't necessarily from the town they're writing about.
Right.
But in their case, they were writing about national politics.
Right.
So it didn't matter, you know. But like I said, the criteria that the newspaper includes in its little letters box every week has to meet certain standards of civility,
Right.
you know, and those obviously violate every one.
Yes.
So,
Yes. They get down to name calling and everything else.
so obviously the newspaper's working on a double standard. They're
Yes.
saying you can only submit this kind of letter, but then they're publishing this vitriol and
Yeah. Because they don't care. It still makes it gets them. The papers are being picked up.
And then the other element in the book that's kind of interesting, I think, is that the publisher, who's a woman,
Yes.
who was more interested in increasing her social profile
Yeah,
becoming-
figuring that's gonna sell more paper.
becoming well-known in town and being a social butterfly, going to different functions, all
Yeah.
that. She didn't want all the controversy that the editor was stirring up. So there was that little dynamic between them too.
When you think about it, the Tribune today is kind of based that way.
Right.
It's all fluff stuff, but those letters to the editor are in there.
You know,
And I think it gets distributed to everybody's house.
it's free, right,
It's free.
right,
All you could do is sign up for it.
right.
But people are, I'm thinking they're grabbing that when it comes in. The first thing they do is look, they go to that editorial page.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how many people pay attention to it. It gets a little repetitious after a while,
Yes,
so, but, I mean, journalism, as you know, is kind of in free fall.
Yes.
And newspapers are suffering.
oh, big
And they're
time.
doing whatever they can to hold on to readers
Well, you know, we
and
got,
advertisers.
we got multiple news channels now,
Right,
so you can get whatever news you want
right,
all day long. In fact, even Charter now has a news channel 24/7.
they do.
So, who goes to the paper? The newspapers have done away with their local reporting. See very little local stuff, other than, you know, the fluff pieces,
Right.
and that's about it. So you don't have the local controversy like you used to have.
No, I mean,
There's no press people at the selectmen's meetings anymore.
no, those days are gone.
Right,
Those days are gone. A lot of it is done remote now. They watch the meetings online and they report from that,
yeah,
if they're reporting on them at all, which
Right.
isn't happening like in Northbridge.
yeah.
Northbridge isn't getting any coverage of any kind.
I don't see any of the towns getting much coverage.
No. No, the Worcester Telegram is Worcester-centric right now,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be a countywide paper. But they're more and more just oriented towards
well, they
Worcester.
closed all their satellites.
Many years ago,
Yeah,
many years ago. Yeah, they don't have any more of them. I mean, you remember when Bill Fortier and some of these people were working on Church Street
oh, yeah.
down at the telegram office.
They used to be across the street from our studio.
Sure, it was in the Town and Country building.
We'd go back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. And you remember Tom Matson, I mean, he was a very good reporter.
Oh, yeah.
He was a great writer.
Yes, he
And
was.
prolific too.
Yeah,
He could crank out 5, 6, 7, 8 stories a week,
yeah.
you know, and those days are really gone.
And Tom, yeah, he'd have a lot of the controversy.
He wasn't afraid of controversy.
No.
No.
He would pick up on it all the time.
Right,
And we had plenty of it going on.
right.
And I think probably we don't have much now because there's nobody sparking it. But these letters, but anyway, the town is happenstance.
Happenstance, yeah, that just came out of me, came on to me. I was kind of kicking around different names for towns, and I thought, wait a minute, why not Happenstance, Massachusetts? So,
And you got you do refer to some of the local characters that actually exist in Northbridge,
right,
but under different names.
right. So, I think what I've received for comments so far is that the character development is pretty strong.
Yep,
Certainly for the publisher and the editor and the two main letter writers. And then I draw, obviously, from people I know.
yeah,
I mean, you probably recognize the slumlord,
yeah,
because I had my own issue with him. So, you know, I developed a chapter or two just on that particular,
his
with
tool was like a slum.
you know, with the apartments in disarray
Yeah.
and him not being willing to do anything about it, so.
But he had the same philosophy you put in the book. They were cheap to rent.
Right. Don't complain
Don't
because.
complain, you ain't paying much.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, the book evolved because it started with the letters, but then it kind of led through some of the rest of the stuff with the newspaper and what that was happening with the editor and the reporter.
Right,
But all, at the same time, they were on the trail of these people that were writing the letters, trying to flesh out who they were beyond what they wrote in their letters. So
Yes.
that was the editor's idea. He says, you know, Jeremiah, go track these people, find out what really makes them tick, And then you had the different confrontations. You had the confrontation at what I call Rendezvous Square, which is actually Plummer's Corner.
Right,
And then there was the confrontation on the Common, on the
Yep.
Northbridge Common. So it all kind of worked into what was happening and feeding the storyline to some extent.
yeah, one time when politics was really hot in town, Plummer's Corner was a controversial place.
I believe it. I'm not aware of it, but I believe it.
Oh, I'm aware of it,
Yeah.
I was involved.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
you'd have opposites fighting each other on the street.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay. So it's not unheard of here, you know?
right. Oh, no, it happened. It actually happened.
Right.
I remember campaigning for Republican candidates against the Democrat candidate, which is across the street, right on the same corner, in the same area. We might be at Gaudette's, and they were at Burger King.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's kind of what evolved in that one chapter with
Yeah,
where Mr. Fulbright, the teacher, and his people were holding the anti-Musk signs, and then
right,
Tammy comes rushing across the street, and
right, exactly.
you know, and she's told to get lost by the by the cops that show up.
And that happened not just with statewide or national, but with town elections.
Yeah, I'm sure.
'Cause we had some controversial town elections a few years back uh, for town moderator and for selectmen.
Right.
So, I mean, that did happen. We don't see it anymore. We don't see much of a contest anymore.
No, that's true. Very quiet
Yeah,
on that front. So anyway, I did run into a little bit of an issue I had to wrestle with as I got deeper into the book as to, because my original idea was that the teacher would die
yes,
because Tammy had it in for him. And she made several references
Oh,
early
so
in the
she's
book.
the person who dies.
Yeah, but then I wanted to do a little bit of a twist. So then I kind of introduced this student, Roscoe Dithers, who's very pro-Trump, anti-Biden,
Yeah.
anti-Kamala Harris. And several people have told me, well, that's kind of a neat little thing you did at the end, where Roscoe tries to set it up to look like the teacher's guilty of poisoning
Yeah,
Tammy.
Tammy, yeah.
But then he kind of like alludes to it to the reporter, Jeremiah.
Right.
And then he actually comes out with a full confession in public. And the other little thing that I decided at the end was I had been continuing to read the letters, and there was another woman who started weighing in who was just as strident in her opinion as Tammy.
Yes.
And so I kind of ended the book with Jeremiah reading this latest letter. And he says, this sounds very familiar, but it's not Tammy, it's somebody else. And I call that chapter, I think, Tammy 2.0.
Yes.
And, you know, he says, I gotta call Max and tell him we've got another Tammy on our hands here.
I liked the way you did the chapters. They were short.
Yeah, they were relatively short, yeah, for
Because
the most
when
part.
I read, if I can't read it all in one sitting, which not commonly, I don't probably have that much time on my hands.
Right,
I can read a chapter, a couple of chapters, two
yeah,
or
I
three
do the
chapters.
same thing. Yeah, I do the same thing.
And then put it down, come back. I know where I left off because I ended up at that chapter.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't like it when you get bogged down in a long chapter of any kind of a book.
Right, because then you're stuck with that. I
yeah,
can't put it
you
down
wanna
now.
get beyond
I
it.
want to get to the end of the chapter.
Yeah, you want to get beyond it and know you're at a point where you can pick it up
Right.
again, so. Yeah, oh, and I think, I mentioned this at the meeting the other day about my conversation with Mo Demers in Linwood at the post office when, you know, he's there talking to the postmaster, and I come in, and he says, oh, have you written any good books lately? He said, I like the one you wrote about Nance's Look, the convenience store.
That was my favorite.
Yeah. And I said, I'm working on a murder mystery, but I don't know who to kill off, who dies. And he says, kill them all off. And I just cracked up. I couldn't believe it was so funny. I think the whole neighborhood could have heard me laughing. But he was just being facetious, obviously, but that was a little dilemma I faced as to how to bring the whole thing to a conclusion between them. So,
You can actually, you read the characters in it, you can actually think about, people like that.
yeah, definitely.
Like Tammy was very much into politics, her husband was laissez-faire when it came to politics.
That's a good point. He could have cared less.
Right.
He wanted no part of it.
All he wanted to do was go to work every day and get his paycheck at the end of the week.
Right, and he read the paper for the hunting and fishing column and
Yep,
the obituaries and the real estate. He could have cared less about those letters,
right.
and then she had wanted to go to Washington for the demonstration,
Yeah, for
and,
the,
and he forbid her to do that.
Yeah.
And, and then you got Roscoe, who's a version of Tammy, but he's more physical. She's verbal, he's physical. And he's saying, if there's another,
I don't know if he's more like Tammy, I think he was into it more because it seemed like the vogue thing to do.
right. Well, he was against the teacher and he was against the students who supported the teacher.
Right,
So,
but he felt it was,
and,
he was a guy, he never served in the military,
right,
but said, I would die for my country,
yeah,
but then go and serve.
right. So he's what we would have used to call like a postgraduate, a PG,
Yeah,
19, 20 years old and still in school.
right,
But history was not his subject. And as I allude to in one of the chapters, he said, my favorite subject is chemistry, which
Yes.
then raises the specter of him
being
The-
able to come up with an idea for poisoning.
ricin, yeah, to mix up a batch of rice and to,
Right.
try to implicate the teacher.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you really relate the album right through. How long did it take to write this?
most of 2 years because I was tied up with a lot of other stuff too, I do my other writing and I've got family and home stuff going on, so,
Well, you're still doing a magazine. It's an online.
yeah,
And
to some extent.
Thank you for a great article
Oh,
on me.
you're welcome. You're very deserving. Anybody who wants to see that article, just have them email me and I'll send it to them. The article on Harry when he got his award from the community center.
Yeah,
you
that was a
haven't seen
surprise
it.
to me.
Yeah, very nice.
But
Yeah. Well, like I said, I didn't know you were that involved with the community center.
I didn't.
I
either.
figured when you got the award that, you had utilized it as a kid,
Yeah,
swimming and all the rest of it, and that
I'm
you.
very supportive of it.
Yeah, no, you are, and I thought you kind of still patronized it in some way.
I don't myself. I'm
Right,
not a member, but
Right,
I
but,
support them and I do everything I can to help them
yeah,
politically and everything else, as well as I try to give them a lot of publicity.
well, they've done very well.
And I'm big supporter of the Rockdale Youth Center
Right,
because
right.
I think it's a great asset to the
That is a
village.
great asset. Because Rockdale is so often overlooked.
Oh, I know, I grew
Has
up.
been for years, you know
When I grew
that.
up, it was overlooked.
Yeah,
We were looked down on.
yeah, absolutely.
And,
And
you know,
even
I-
to some extent today,
Yeah.
even now. So, I mean,
And
It's a s-
well, I told him, I said, back when I was a kid, at least we had a library. And you could go there. And now the kids didn't even have that.
no,
So the youth center was a great asset.
right,
I wish we had one when I was a kid. I
Sure.
probably would have done better in school.
sure, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the town is changing, but Rockdale doesn't change a whole lot. It's
No.
pretty much the same little village. It's like Manchog or some of these other places.
Well, we've
that-
gone from a French-Canadian village to
Right.
almost a Spanish village.
Right, yeah, there's different mix of people in there now,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
that's what happens. Everything cycles through.
Cycles through, yeah. But Whitensville, more is happening down in Whitensville than in Rockdale.
Right, but that's always been the case.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was the biggest population, it was where the best jobs were.
Yeah, and the key selectmen, key people usually came from that side of town too, for the
Yes.
most part. So,
That was a big controversy years ago, was who's gonna represent Rockdale, and Rockdale would put certain people in there, like Freddie Benoit, Roger Matthau,
oh, yeah, Roger,
yeah. They went in there, George St. Martin.
Ross
Before that, Ross Rajat.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Ross always was,
And Peter
Peter Washburn,
LaChapelle.
yeah.
No, I've known quite a number of people from Rockdale over
Right,
the years. So,
but getting back to the book, yeah, but you've written a number of books now, but this is the first real extensive novel, right?
this is the first one
I
of
mean,
this.
The Match,
Yeah,
I read that, it was
the
good,
golf
but it was
book.
not as extensive as this.
Right. No, this was breaking in a new direction for me.
Yeah, you wrote another one about a newspaper guy,
Right, right.
which almost
For
like an
Pete's sake.
autobiography, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, this is a whole different direction for me to go in, and like I've said many times, I've tried to become more of a creative writer than a reporter. There is a difference.
Yeah.
You know, reporting is just stating the facts, putting them down.
How'd you get into, you were a reporter back in
Oh, a long time,
New York.
long time.
Yeah, how'd you get into it?
Actually, just kind of stumbled into it, really. You know, for the morning tabloid paper, the Sun Bulletin. I started in sports
Oh,
and moved around. You know, I
well, you
moved.
started in sports because you really liked it, right?
Yeah, well, that was the position that was open when I applied for it.
Oh, okay, so you went
Okay.
down and applied.
Yeah, I put in an application, and I was working at a golf club at the time.
Oh,
And then I went to Plattsburgh, and I went to Newburgh, and then I came back to Binghamton
well,
with the Press and Sun Bulletin after they merged.
that's quite
The two
that's quite a trip up to Plattsburgh from,
Yeah, it's right up near the Canadian border.
yeah, I've been
Yeah.
up there.
Our oldest daughter was born there.
Oh,
Amanda, yeah, she was born there.
so you move around.
So I was in sports still at that point, and I was
Yeah.
in sports in Newburgh. Then I came back to Binghamton.
That's even, you're still far away from Binghamton.
Yeah. Then I came back and I was in sports, and then I got an opportunity to move to the news desk. And I'll never forget, John Fox was the very esteemed sports editor in Binghamton. He came out of Syracuse University. Very, very well known, very well liked and respected guy. Tremendous writer and columnist. And I'll never forget what he said to me when I said, I'm going over to the news desk to be a copy editor. He says, that's the biggest mistake you're ever going to make. But that's how my evolution came about.
Was it a big mistake?
No, not at all. Because at that point in my life, I was 40 years old. This was 1975. And I was 30 years old. Yeah, 30 years old. And I was getting tired of covering kids playing sports. I was
Yeah.
outgrowing that whole scene.
Right,
And I was more into reading literature and more in a different direction than my whole concentration, my whole life up until then had been sports. You know,
yeah, but it was kids.
yeah, and I subscribed
If
to.
you would've went to the pros, you think you would've stayed with sports?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, we only had we had a professional hockey team in Binghamton, but nothing
Right.
else. So, and there was already somebody covering that beat. So, my point is that I outgrew going to track meets and baseball games with
Right.
high school kids. I could see the age difference, and they couldn't relate to me any better than I could relate to them anymore. And I was just, my interest had changed. So
Yeah.
I moved on to the news desk, and one thing led to another, and I started as a copy editor, and then I moved to be a slot editor, which means you feed people different things. And then I became wire editor, which meant I only handled the international news that came across the wire, like AP, UPI
Yeah.
news. And then I became the assistant news editor, and then I became the news editor. So one thing led to another, and it was what was called.
Constantly moving up.
Yeah, it was what was called a universal desk. It was shaped like a U.
Ah.
And the news editor sat at the top and the assistant news editor. Then you had the copy editors sitting behind them. And it was all in a big newsroom. And it was I mean, just like all the other papers today, it was a thriving daily and Sunday publication.
Yes,
And then I got an opportunity I was actually looking to broaden my horizon even more, and that's when I came to Boston. And
Yes, you worked out of Brookline, right?
Brookline, yeah, Brookline, editor of a group of weekly papers. So that was a huge move for me and for the family,
Yeah,
you know, and I kind of thrust myself into a situation that, to be perfectly honest with you, I was in over my head because Boston is a very competitive media market
oh,
with the TV and radio, and also
Yes.
at that time there were the Globe and the Herald and the Boston Phoenix, and then you had all these little papers, the Quincy Star Ledger, all
yes.
the Patriot Ledger, all these little papers that were very active and involved all around. So it was a highly competitive market.
Oh, yeah.
And I had young reporters who were just out of college, and they were a lot to handle. They all had their own ideas, their own ambitions.
They want to
So-
do their own stuff.
It was a very tough situation. So, you know, I was there for 2.5 years. And then I got a chance to come to Whitensville.
Now, the family was living in Worcester at the time, right?
Only briefly.
Oh,
We were in Worcester only briefly.
did you live in Boston?
No, we moved to Linwood. We moved to Linwood in '88.
So you were commuting?
Yeah, I was commuting to
Oh, we got a
Boston.
phone call. Go ahead, Carl, you're on.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Hey,
evening.
Barry.
Hey, good to see you, Rod. I haven't seen you at Hannaford's lately. I was getting worried about you. How you doing?
I'm there, Barry. My wife and I are there every Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'll probably run into you eventually there.
Yeah,
And hey, congratulations on the book.
thank you.
And you know, I was thinking, how many years has it been? I remember seeing you. We used to talk when you were at the Super there in Linwood there.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I got a brain cramp. I mean, how many years has it been since you left there, or when did they close? I can't remember.
It's been since Brenda closed.
It's been a
This
number
is
of years now.
2026. She probably late teens, like
Wow.
2018, something like that.
I know. Like the time goes by so quick, and the older you get, it goes by quicker.
No, I enjoyed working there very much. It was a good little store with a lot of good people coming in.
Yeah.
You know all about that.
You guys always used to get the Tribune earlier than a lot of the other places. That's why I used to
that's
stop
right.
in and get it. You know.
That's right. Yeah, and she did a good little business there.
Yeah, and you know, you're talking about journalism, and I don't know. Do you think that they've lost a lot of their independence today? I mean, it seems like a lot of them are in placing their own political views a lot of times in the stories instead of just being independent. I don't know. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
I think they're trying to maintain their neutrality as best they can. But one interesting development, I'm sure you've seen it, I mentioned this the other day, it used to be to become a reporter for a publication like the Telegram or the Globe, you had to have journalism credentials, and you had to be thoroughly vetted. Now the case is, and they always shied away from using what we call freelance people or blogger type people. Now they've lowered their standards to some extent, and even with the publication I was writing for a while, the Worcester Guardian, which is a new publication in Worcester, a couple of years old now. You know, they hired me to write, and they hire other people who don't necessarily have newspaper experience background, but they're like bloggers. They write editorial pieces like Facebook stuff, so they've become more acceptable, and that kind of has lowered the bar a little bit. But as far as the other thing, I think newspapers still try to maintain a reasonably middle ground with their coverage, but more and more of them are being owned by big conglomerate outfits.
Right.
Like USA Today owns a whole slew of papers, including the
Right.
Telegram. And then
Yeah.
you've got John Henry, who's a very wealthy man who owns the Globe. And I remember when USA Today started, I was in Binghamton at the time, and Alan Newharth was the owner of, he's the one that started USA Today. And he was pulling his best people from all over the country, from Gannett, and including several from Binghamton. And I'll never forget, everybody said, this paper will never make it.
Right.
A national newspaper, full color, short stories, different sections, and it was in the red for literally 7 or 8 years before it turned the corner and started making money. Now, you see it at all the hotels, all the airports, different restaurants.
Well, you give it out free at the hotel.
It's a-
And you're right. It's just like they say. Like there's like 6 major corporations that own all the
Yeah,
corporate media. You know.
yeah, they keep gobbling things up.
And
We had that years ago with Hearst.
yeah,
It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying, it's not the same environment as it was like 20 or 30 years ago.
right. Oh yeah, a lot
It's
of
all
things are
different.
changing, and now you don't know how this. You know, they're talking about AI, artificial intelligence,
Yeah, it's
writing stories and
Yeah.
everything, and then you really don't know. I mean, you know, because somebody's programming them that too, and so it's you know, like I said, it's good to have independent people and trying to get good viewpoints on all sides.
Well, that really throws a monkey wrench into the whole equation with the AI,
Yeah,
because you don't know what to believe anymore.
right. And then
Yeah.
a lot of companies are using that to lay people off as an excuse, saying, "Oh well, AI, we got to lay people off." That's some more craziness coming down the road.
The bottom line is that the newspaper industry is a dying breed.
Mm-hmm.
The print version,
Yeah.
Now-
People getting the news off the internet now.
right?
Oh yeah. And there's a lot more podcasts. You know.
So starting this weekend, Barry, I'm sure you're aware of this. The Telegram is eliminating the Sunday paper.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that. Oh, thanks for the info.
No Sunday paper for the first time in what, 100 and some years?
Wow.
They're going to what they call a weekend paper on Saturday.
Yeah.
And there's a notice up at the Dollar Tree where I buy my morning paper. And it says, you know, the Sunday Telegram will stop distribution on March 29th,
Mm-hmm.
but the Saturday paper will be the equivalent of the Sunday paper.
Right.
So what that means, I don't know. They've made a number of changes lately to try to survive.
Right. I mean, because there's still a lot of people that like like the in-depth of a real paper, you know, but like
Yeah.
you said, everything is changing, and
Everything's changing.
then when all the, like I said, you know, the baby boomers are gone, and people that just only know computers, that's
No,
you know,
my
a different world, you know.
different world. My grandchildren, they're all in their 20s and 30s. They do not read newspapers.
You can go to the internet and pick out the stories you want to read.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
go
my,
on.
My kids get a kick out of it when I tell them. I said, I'll know what to do when the internet goes down, you know.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're grabbing what they want to know off their phones or off their laptops.
Right, and then you got to tell them, well, you got to look at who's putting that information in there, and
That's right.
it's all independence. But I remember when you guys had your own little local paper when you. I remember many years ago, right?
Right. The Northbridge Times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Harry, I remember my aunt taking me there to the you probably went to the village hall there in Rockdale with the Halloween parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I can never remember because was there a First National downtown in Whitensville?
First.
No, it was in Uxbridge.
Oh, not yeah, because
First National is where
was it an A&P downtown?
where Hannaford was a First National.
Right, yeah, because I remember my aunt taking me there, and I could
There's an
never
A&P.
understand because she lived in Upton, and I could never understand why she went there instead of because Whitensville was closer, but maybe she liked First National.
You had A&P in Waynesville.
Huh?
You had the A&P in Waynesville.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe.
And you had a Star Market.
Oh, okay. And
That's in the 50s.
right, and But yeah, like I said, like you guys are saying, a lot of changes and a lot of changes in the media, and
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we get some calmer minds prevail and get this some peace talks there in the Mideast. Keep our fingers crossed, you know.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Hey, well, good seeing you, Rod. I
Thank you.
was getting kind of worried, but I guess I just been missing you at Hannaford's.
That's
but
right.
I'll see you around, and hey, thanks everything you guys do, and
Thank you,
hang
Barry.
in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye, bye, Rod.
Bye.
See you later, Barry.
Yeah, bye.
He's a regular caller.
Oh, yeah. On Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
But we were talking about, yeah, you went to Brookline, and that got to be overwhelming.
Yeah, I had some, unfortunately, the two,
Not to mention the commute every day had to be
oh,
a
the
pain
commute
in
was
the-
horrendous. Horrendous. And
Did
it's
you
even,
drive in?
yes, it's even worse from the north and south.
Oh, yeah.
It's even worse. I mean, today it's worse than ever. You know, it's not a pleasant thing to do,
No, 93 is almost impossible in the mornings.
you know, and that was a big part of the problem too, because I'd get home late at night, I'd have to
Yeah.
go in first thing in the morning to beat some of the traffic, and in the wintertime, I used to get stuck in the snowstorms and
Oh, yeah.
try to veer off on Route 9 coming back the other way, and just take forever. Can take a couple of hours to get home.
But then you ended up at the Tribune.
So then, I had an offer to become editor of the Worcester magazine,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't really want to, that didn't seem like a good fit to me at the time. And that's when I also had my first chance at the Telegram on the business desk.
Oh,
Andy Esposito was the business editor. She was pretty well known. And I had a 3-month trial, or a 3-night trial on the business desk with her. I was hired,
yeah.
but then the Tribune job came along.
Oh,
So, and we were just relocating to Linwood. This was in '88.
oh, so that'd be perfect. Be close to home.
Yeah, so that made a lot of sense to me.
A weekly paper, so I'm not under so much stress. Because dailies, you're under a lot of stress. You got to get that newspaper out there by a certain
Well,
time.
yeah, I mean, it would have been sort of a cushy job working on the business desk, but that was also a night job and weekends,
Yeah,
and I didn't want that.
right.
You know, I wanted a day job with, you know, so anyway, the Tribune worked out well until, you know, I got the urge to get my own little newspaper going, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, we met while you were on through the Tribune.
yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. But I called you and told you about the fact that I was made the mayor.
Yeah.
And you had some good controversy in that paper.
And again, a lot of that was generated by Jim Douglas, who was my star reporter,
Yes,
who Jeremiah Douglas is based on.
yeah.
And he was such an asset to me, you know. He would go to you remember Oscar Picard,
Oh, yes, yes. The Colonel.
the colonel? So Jim would go cover the selectmen's meetings, and he would come back and tell me what went on. But he was meticulous, and he was very investigative. He was a sleuth. He wanted to get to the bottom of whatever
The thing
was
is,
happening.
back then, the selectmen's meetings weren't broadcast.
Right,
So you had to get it from the paper unless you went to the meeting.
right, right.
So there was a lot more coverage.
Oh my goodness! Well,
And
you
and
see
you
it.
had multiple press in there.
You see it now. I mean, we covered the Northbridge Selectmen
Yeah,
every week. You know,
right.
but we were covering, when I was at the Tribune, we were covering Millbury and Grafton and
Yeah.
Douglas and Sutton and
Yeah,
Uxbridge
making
and
all the
Northbridge.
meetings.
You know, we were covering like six towns in the Blackstone Valley.
Yeah,
Now the Tribune is just, you know, Northbridge, Uxbridge, Douglas, I think it is. That's it.
yeah,
Maybe Sutton.
yeah. And well, no, Sutton's got its own paper anyway.
Right.
But the thing is that they only covered fluff stuff that's happening.
It's become an easy thing to just accept press releases and honor rolls and
Yeah.
little ribbon cuttings that the chamber has that they send into you
Yeah, I don't
free.
know if they got any reporters for crying out loud.
They go through reporters, you know, so they usually have, I mean, the last I knew, Tom Matson was their only reporter,
Yeah,
And then when he died, or he left before he died, I guess, but
Yeah, he retired before he died.
he retired. And then it was one person as a lead reporter doing 1 or 2 stories a week.
Yeah.
And the rest of it was all just whatever they put in behind it.
Oh, I know.
So,
I mean, now, we came in today. I could read in about 3 minutes.
right,
I could look at all the headlines. There's nothing here for me.
yeah.
The only thing is those letters to the editor.
You know, it's important to some people because if their kid's on the honor roll or
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know.
Boy Scout gets his Eagle Award, Eagle badge or, I understand people want to see that, and they're not going to see it anywhere else anyway,
No,
So that has a value, but how much?
right.
How much value does that have? I mean,
And you worked for a while for the Blackstone Valley
the Express.
Express.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was good while it lasted. It just got to be too much in the
They
money.
cover a little bit more.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. And that's been sold.
Yeah, I met, when I met.
You
the
know,
owner.
that's under new ownership now.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's all a changing dynamic, shifting landscape type of thing with newspapers. They're falling by the wayside, a lot of them.
well, I'm in the advertising industry. I sell advertising for radio. It's a whole different ballgame today. And we had a meeting Monday, we have every meeting every Monday morning at the station, all the salespeople. And I tell her, I says, today, it's a different world. We talk about, like Joe Mangiacardi's been in radio for years. He talks about how he worked at stations where they just had $1 million a year in revenue coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
But you didn't have the competition.
right,
The big competitor today, the internet.
definitely.
People get on Facebook, they advertise there, they
Mhm.
advertise on different parts of the internet.
Mhm.
They have websites.
Mhm.
They don't need to do the advertising that they had to do years ago.
Right, right.
So it's a whole different ballgame. That's the same with the papers.
So when I was at the Telegram, I had a really good run for 11 years, and I was like the special sections editor. And I did these, I did a magazine called The Buzz for a while. I did
Oh,
a
yeah.
weekly column called The Biz Buzz. And
Well,
I
that was
did,
for TNG.
yeah, for the TNG. And
Right.
I did neighborhood stories,
Yes,
and they sold advertising to support the stories.
right.
And they would full color, what we call a double truck, facing pages. And I started like in the city of Worcester with the different neighborhoods, Tatnick Square, Webster Square, North Worcester. And then they became so successful that we branched out, and I was all over the county. I was on Route 9 out towards Sturbridge, the other way towards Westboro. I went up north to the Johnny Appleseed Trail. Harry, I was literally all over the county all the time. I would come in the morning, spend time with my people in my pod for an hour or so, and then I was off for the day, getting stuff. And one time, I'll never forget, Veronica Wells was my coordinator in my pod. And I used to go visit the advertisers who were either going to support these pages or not, and I would do a little stroking of them in
Yeah.
the article to take care of them. And I would come back and I would say, oh, so-and-so wants to talk to that sales rep. He wants to place an ad on these pages. And Veronica said to me, Rod, what did you promise him? And I said, whatever it took. But no, I had a really good run, and then obviously that's all gone now. That you
Yeah.
don't see that kind of stuff now. Ed Borgall, who's one of my best friends in Worcester.
Yeah, here again, you don't need the newspaper to advertise anymore.
No. He said to me, because he was the president of the North Worcester Business Association for a long time, and we played golf last year, and he said to me, Rod, those neighborhood pages you did in your BizBuzz column, they built our membership in the NWBA. They got to like 150 members. A lot of the banks and everybody were buying into the membership to be part of the meetings, the luncheon meetings, and to read my stuff about the association
Yeah.
that was appearing in the paper. But that all went away right after I left. So,
Yeah, they're not even keyed into Worcester anymore.
well, they are keyed into Worcester, but
as much as they used to be though.
No, and, well, not anything, but I mean, to the exclusion of a lot of the, like you say, the outlying towns. They're not
They still,
doing,
are their office still on Portland Street?
no, they moved across, it was on Franklin Street.
Oh,
It was on
Franklin
Franklin
Street,
Street. They moved across the common to Front Street,
Oh,
but
in a smaller building, right?
it's in the big building, the Miracle Connell building.
Yeah, but there used to be the whole building
Yeah, on
Frank-
Franklin Street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had the radio station there as well.
yep. So when they moved across the street, it's been a number of years now, they occupied 2 floors, the third and the fifth, I think it was. And,
I remember you could see them printing the papers if you went by the back alley.
yeah, yeah,
And then they owned WTAG, which stood for Worcester Telegram and Gazette.
right, yep,
They had 2 papers, a morning and a Telegram in the morning and a Gazette in the afternoon.
yeah. No, everything's changed.
Yeah,
Just,
and that's when they were locally owned.
Yep, yep.
And, well, we had a Northbridge person was an editor there,
Harry Whiten.
Harry Whiten, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Used to live right on Sutton Street.
Yeah, the publisher, when I went there was Bruce Bennett, who's pretty well known.
Yes,
Lived up by Indian Lake.
yeah. Things have changed tremendously.
Things have changed. All the people that I worked with are gone.
Yeah,
They either took buyouts or they retired,
yeah.
died off, whatever the case may be, but,
Like I say, you're competing against the internet changed the world.
yeah. And it's continuing to.
It changes TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's why newspapers' days are numbered, there's no question about
Yeah.
it. As far as a print product, just not gonna continue. It's gonna continue to downsize and go away eventually.
Yeah.
Because they can't keep,
But
like,
the cost of print too.
the cost and the distribution thing,
Look at
the-
yourself. You do an online magazine.
Yeah,
You used to print it out. That was costly,
yeah. Even though it was limited how many I printed, but
right?
even so.
But now you can do it online, and there's no physical cost.
That's one of the incentives for me to continue doing what I do, because there's very little monetary involvement.
Right?
It's just my time
Yeah.
more than anything.
So you really don't need to sell advertising. It's just your time.
Right, right.
That was another problem too. You when you were selling advertising, you could sell it, but then you had to get paid.
It's always an issue.
Yeah. and that could be a problem as well.
Sure, yeah,
You can sell all the advertising in the world, but if you don't get paid, what good is it?
yeah.
But anyway, your book is available on Amazon. You just type in the title, the Poison Pen Club, or Rod Lee, and it'll come up. And you can get it overnight.
Absolutely. And I'll
if
be,
you don't want to buy the book itself, you want to listen to it, you can get it on Kindle.
right. And I'll be at the senior center in May. That's been
Oh,
rescheduled,
again.
so, yeah, I
Oh,
forget
you
the
were
date.
you were there for the men's club.
Right. But I'll be there for the senior, I think it's May 12th, but I'm not sure of the date. So I'll
Oh.
be there that morning. So,
Was
Yeah.
you're going to address the whole senior center?
whoever shows up,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
We were there back in December for Elvis, remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was great. He'll be back. I hear he's coming back.
Yeah, he likes it there.
Yeah, he does. Well, they treat him well.
Yeah, I tried to get him on this show, and
I know.
he kind of fucked me off.
Well, he's in big demand, I know that.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
Well, they pay him. I don't pay you to come on here.
Well, that might help.
Yeah, but I tell you,
You don't have the budget for that.
we're going to give him a show on the internet.
I know,
It
Yeah.
won't cost him anything.
I know. But he's a Worcester guy, and,
Yeah.
So,
But Rod, thanks for coming in.
thank you, Harry. Always good to talk to you.
Yeah, we had a good show. We got another 5-6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, do you miss the Northbridge Times?
No, because that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
My wife hated it because at the time I had kids at home. I didn't have an office of my own.
Right.
So I was working out of the dining room half the time. And I remember years after that, 1998 was when I stopped it, because that's when I went to work for the Telegram.
Oh, that long ago.
1998, yeah. And I used to go to vote years after the Northbridge Times was done. And George Murray and some of the people at the polls would say, "Oh, we miss your little paper."
Yeah.
And my wife would say, "I don't."
I know. Well, she used to get mad at me because I would send my column in at the last minute on Sunday night.
Well, the big thing that when Ross Rajat used to write his letters,
Yes.
which were indecipherable, I couldn't read anything he wrote.
I know.
So I finally said to him, "Ross, you have to print everything if you want these letters to run." And so he started meticulously printing everything. Yeah. I mean, when I was at the Tribune, he used to ride his bicycle down from Rockdale and
Yes.
hand deliver the letter,
Yes.
you know, but I mean, we all loved Ross.
Oh, yeah. Ross is a great guy.
Great guy.
Your first book.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And he had his journals and everything he was going to put into some kind of a memoir or a book, but I don't know whatever happened to that.
I don't know.
I wish somebody would let us know what happened to everything he had collected. His son Homer was living there, but I don't know whatever happened to all of Ross's personal papers.
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be good to know,
Yeah, you could probably do a good book out of it.
because he was very meticulous about keeping everything.
Well, he holds a
Clippings.
record for private person putting in legislation.
Right, that's right. You're right.
Because
Absolutely right.
you could petition the legislature in Massachusetts, and he held a record for petitions to the legislature.
Yeah, I know he used to have boxes of material, but whatever became of that, I don't know.
He also spent a lot of time in New Hampshire at the primaries, prior to the primary in New Hampshire, because he would meet all the politicians, and they knew him.
Yeah,
He was personal friends with Robert Dole,
right.
because they were both in Italy together.
So I keep most everything I've ever written, and I keep everything that's been like correspondence with people, cards, letters,
Oh,
whatever the case may be, you know. I've got file boxes full of that kind of stuff. And I said to my wife one day, I'm going to turn this over to the library, my personal papers, to the
Yeah.
library or the senior center or the historical society. She says, "Nobody's going to want that stuff."
People would like to see copies of the Northbridge Times.
Yeah.
There's some controversial stuff there.
I know people that used to save every issue, like Harold Mathon.
Yeah,
He saved every issue. He told
I
me
did.
that. Yeah, yeah.
I
But we had a good time with that.
Yes, yeah, we did. It was a lot of controversy at the time.
Yeah, yeah, there was. Especially because of Jim Knott, Bob
Yes.
Meller, and
Well, yeah, they had
Yeah.
quite a thing going.
Mary Fran, and
Yeah, oh, I know.
that whole crowd.
Yeah,
They were at each other's throats a lot of the time.
oh my God. That's by the time I got into politics too, and my kids got older, and
Yeah,
I was done with scouts, so I could get into politics a little more.
yeah.
Well, we gotta go.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in, Rod.
Thanks, Harry.